Today we are at Cardross near Helensburgh in Scotland, and we're here to see St. Peter's Seminary, the Roman Catholic seminary that was closed in 1980. There's lots of videos on this, and this is actually a long video, but this is being filmed on the 6th of January, Saturday the 6th of January. Closed in 1980. It's 44 years since it was officially closed as a seminary. And even though it's a long video, you might be impressed by some of the graffiti. It's a very colourful building now. But I'll be putting some links to the original videos of when it was originally a seminary. And it's pretty bare now. Where the sides would have been all glass and wood, unfortunately now, it's pretty bare. And this is the main entrance where you would have come in. We see the side chapels there. The curved things, the 5 things there, and this is the main entrance here. There was originally a decorative pool here and a car park, and you would drive up, and this would be the entrance here. Where it was once fencing, there would have been glass doors and wooden frames, but now, as you can see, it's quite derelict and completely different to what it was. And a remote area, and it was part of the Catholic idea that preachers should be, vicars should be trained in separately from the community. But then the canon law changed in the 60s, which is one of the reasons why it was closed in the end, so that priests could practice in the community, in seminaries, in society, rather than isolated from it. You can see the tower up here, the stairway. I see a lot of glass and frames have gone, so it's very different to what it originally was. And this is the nuns area. This is where the nuns stayed, and it was connected to an old house here, which was burned down. The house was Kilmahew House, designed by J. Burnett in 1865 to 1868. And that was the central point where old and new were merged and mixed. And a lot of the refectory and catering facilities were connected to the old house and to this area here where the nuns obviously separate from the priests. And this was a living and worshipping quarters. So this is really a convent, really. And that area there was a community room where there was lots of flowers, and the nuns used to pray and relax. And there was a couple of floors, a couple of connections, and there was a walk-through into Kilmahew House itself. But now visited by graffiti artists. I can see that the convent was separated from the main seminary over there, and the original Kilmahew House was in the middle, which is here now. There's the remains, stonework, and overgrown now with trees and foliage. Kilmahew House was a magnet for vandals and fire starters, and after a while it was in such a really dangerous state that it was actually demolished in 1994. And there was a point then when it was people want to try and save the rest, but this has been ongoing for years. Obviously the house was at the centre with the whole seminary, the modern building surrounding it. There we have the classroom and lecture block, which was a radical design in concrete for its time. And there we see the side chapels. And going back there to the house's remnants. we'll take a walk along and have a look at the classroom block to begin with. So there's the classroom block again, the main block and residence, and the nunnery. And there was a couple of floors to the classroom block, as we can see here. The old concrete stairs, which a lot's blocked off now and is difficult to access. But this is a fabulous piece of concrete design. We're now going upstairs onto the second level. And the level down below would have been the library. And this would have been the common room. You'll see in some of the old films a table tennis table and seats. Remember this, where this fencing was, these scaffold poles was originally glass. It was all round it was glass. Dead light, dead airy. And beautiful with the running streams, which we heard earlier. And that staircase there, which is a bit warped now and a bit dodgy, leads up to the classroom lecture theatre. And that was an entrance to the main block. And going back down, outside again, heading towards the side chapels, which are on 3 levels as well. And we see above, that would have been the accommodation for the priests. Some of the walkways I can see, there's a gap between them now. So, if you're coming here to investigate, be very careful. I advise you not to. Well, funny enough, we've seen a couple of couples having a look, and that would have been the library down there. So, yes, we've seen a couple of couples early on walking around the place as well. And here we go, past the side chapels. This is the cloister with the internal courtyard on the left, spiral staircase up to the main level, and you would have come through the entranceway on the other side there, as we'd shown earlier. And as we climb these stairs, head up to the next level, which would have been the refectory and the chapel areas. And the staircase further up to the accommodation. Obviously there's no roof there now, as there's no walls or windowed walls. Nevertheless, you can still see the basic design. And going along now, past the side chapels. And down the other side. And the side chapels once more. Unfortunately, we never had a good lighting system to have a look at the lower levels. On the higher levels, where there were, I think this is mainly for storage, and higher up, these semicircular buildings were the chapels up above. And be wary if you're going, as I say, there's some dangers about, including some big holes. Obviously some covers on here at one time, but they're being taken away by people. And that's the internal courtyard, which would have went up to the house and to the nunnery. Got the two staircases coming down at 45-degree angles. It's all very modernistic. In fact, there's an excellent book on the subject by a professor at, I think, Birmingham University, who wrote about this in her book. Her name is Diane M. Waters, and the book is St. Peter's Cardross, Birth, Death and Renewal, which I'll put a link to in the description. And we're going up 2 levels now, up this curved sort of spiral staircase, up to the accommodation area, where the priests would have had a little flats along there, and a nice little balcony. I'll say, still got to be wary as no guardrails or whatever. So I just like this quite a nice view. It would have been much different for the priest when it was in operation. And as we can see, we're on the top floor of the lecture theatre now, looking over at the priest's accommodation on 2 floors and the side chapels. And this would have been a lecture theatre. It would have had a high wooden roof, if you'll see some of the old pictures. It got a glass roof, so it was much taller than what we can see here at present. This was opened in 1967 and only had 13 years of its life before it closed in 1980. But it's stunning architecture, and we see the top of the side chapels and the nunnery over there on the left. The rooms look to be small, but I haven't really seen any good examples of pictures or videos of the actual personal accommodation. That would have been a house, Kilby House, over there. And there's the side chapels tops, which would have, I would assume, have glass in to reflect down onto the next level down. Obviously the floors have collapsed, so but there was a lot of wood used as well as concrete, and the wood was either taken out or just rotted away, I would imagine. But in the summer, nice glass doors, look out the balcony. I can't understand why no one has bought this and made it into a hotel. Actually, it would be fabulous. But I don't know. And like everywhere else, most of the ceilings have collapsed now. People say it would be expensive to restore, but I just don't know. I mean, the structure's still there, and it is concrete, but I don't know. I mean, this is visited by lots of architectural students all the time, even though you're not meant to go, and lots of people anyway. This is it is a grade 1 listed building, so it cannot be demolished. But how long it stays before they get that unsafe, who's to say? And going back down the stairs here. There's some nice graffiti about, obviously some crude stuff as well, but it's very, very colourful. But this is years of graffiti. And here we are on the main floor, the first floor, below the accommodation. And up there's the altar, well, would have been the altar, and would have been a chapel. I was actually going to use my drone up here, but unfortunately the batteries, there was something wrong with the batteries, so I don't know. Shame. But here's some good drone footage on some of the other YouTube videos. But that's the main chapel there, where the seating would have been, stepped up. And these are the side chapels, and we can see a little bit better now, and this would have been the main area for the side chapels use, below being maybe storage and above just being glass. But there you have benches there, no doubt there would have been some kind of religious artifacts on there, or religious symbiology or symbolism. And now we see the entrance way. And here's the altar, which has been deconsecrated. We see a crucifix form here. This would have been the main altar where they worshipped. There's a ramp down the bottom at the back, but with the scaffold and it is getting a bit dodgy now to walk about certain places. So really, I can't get to show you some areas due to health and safety, I suppose. Nice dogs there, graffiti there. Ramp down below is where the priest would have come up for the service, which you'll see in some of the other videos if you get a look at them. Still fantastic architecture. I cry that nothing's been done with this. I cry that the situation has been in it should remain a seminary. But there was, apart from the fact of the change in their Catholic canon law, and there was water ingress and problems with the building itself and coming in, and that's similar to where apparently one of the problems with the Westerhope Church, St Wilfrid's, had water ingress in the community centre, which is who knows whether to demolish that. So these kind of similarities happened in modern day architecture, especially when it involves concrete. And St Wilfrid's is another one of my videos if you want to watch it. See, there's some height here. And there's a chapel there, altar. That's the other side of their accommodation and study blocks, but too dangerous to actually walk along that balcony. And there we go, back into there. The altar area. And back into the chapel itself, where the Trinity priests would have did their service. And now we've seen the other side chapels. I would like to find out more, because this is very similar to the ones at Liverpool Cathedral, side chapel wise, and that has some fantastic side chapels. There's where Kilmew House would have stood, and the nunnery and the internal courtyard. So I hope something's done with this in the future. And if you like this video, please like and subscribe. And please watch some of the others coming up soon. Bye for now, and thank you for watching.